Und damit ein herzliches Willkommen und Hallo zu dem, höchstwahrscheinlich, Finale des 6. Lostbeltes. Was für ein langer Trip war's. Ich bin es noch, euer Demi-Servant. Nach hier 100 Parts, ich weiß gar nicht, wie viel es jetzt am Ende werden. Zumindest mit Abstand das längste, was wir jemals erlebt haben. Beim letzten Mal wurden wir hier vom ein bisschen warm Oberon Vortigan gefangen genommen. Es sah so aus, als wäre keine Hoffnung, doch dann kam der Stern. Der Stern in der Form von Artoria Casta, die hier nun als Servant sich hier materialisiert hat mit dem Wunsch der ursprünglichen Artoria, die wir kannten, und sie hat uns geholfen, Oberon zu bezwingen. Der Feenkönig, der auch ihr Zerstörer Britanniens sein wollte, ist besiegt und es gibt nur noch eine Aufgabe für uns, den Abyssalwurm zu verlassen und endgültig den britannischen Lostbelt zu verlassen. Ein Weg aus Leichen pflasterte hier unseren Weg, ein Weg des Vergessens, der Zerstörung und des Todes. Ein weiterer Lostbelt, der hier zerstört wurde. Doch, liebe Leute, wir dürfen nicht wanken, wir dürfen nicht sagen, denn dieser Kampf ist noch lange nicht vorbei. Professor, how long before the exit collapse? Will we make it at that speed? Okay, it looks like we have about 5 minutes before the abyss is completely sealed. Since the computer room has been shut down for 20 minutes, and assuming the ship had been falling constantly during the period. Okay, quick and dirty calculation, so we've fallen about 422 kilometers. So, if we can push the border to Mach 8.5. Wieso 8.5? Keine Ahnung, wie schnell das ist. Even accounted for acceleration and deceleration, we should have no trouble getting out in time. Wait, I just realized something. There's no point in calculating the distance we've fallen. This hole is infinite. Now that we're inside, there is no entrance or exit. We can't possibly reach where we fell in, no matter how fast we fly. I see. Then we just have to make our own exit. Captain, can the stormwater cannons blast open the sides of this hole? If we can't make it to an exit by flying upwards, our only choice is to break down the hollow's very concept. It will be risky, since there's no telling where we may emerge, but in 5 minutes' time, even that risk will no longer be an option. I'm sorry, but after all that fighting, we just don't have the power for that. Keeping the ship flying is the absolute best we can do. Even if we shut down one of the engines now, we wouldn't have nearly enough time to create a Spartan warhead. Dan, you mean we can't leave? Or because there's no exit? I'm afraid so. And once the hollow is completely blocked off, we won't be able to go anywhere. Once this hollow loses its connection to the outside world, it will even more indissoluble than a black hole. A black hole may be a mass of gravity so dense that even light can break it, but at least it still has an exit. Theoretically, one should still make their way out if they could achieve faster than light travel. But there simply is no means of escaping this hollow. It is an inescapable space that no man-made transportation technology can leave, regardless of how to advance. It is truly the epitome of a pitfall. Even as we are ascending, we continue to fall toward the abyss. Damn it! Man, this is no time to be admiring it. Isn't there anything we can do? It's not as though we are under attack, or the ship is about to explode. I'll be damned if I'm going to admit defeat, just because of a missing a... Was in Gottes Namen? Guys, I just picked up some kind of explosion 3,000 kilometers away. The hull being ripped open. I can see the outside again. That thermic ray has to beat Albion. Albion just fired off an man. Was? Ich dachte, Albion ist besiegt. I don't know why she did it, but Albion just attacked the Abyssalwurm. Wieso in Gottes Namen? She falls to the ground, her strength exhausted. The sky of the end times looms overhead. Still yearning for the distant horizon, she continued to descend. Intelligence and memories were gone. Everything that made her who she was had been shattered. All that remained now was the decaying corpse of a long-dead dragon. A falling star with neither purpose nor desire, doomed to scatter up an impact. And yet she still felt pain in the hollow chest. There was still something she desperately needed to remember. Searching. In an instant, all sights flashed before her eyes and shattered forever with each memory. Sparks flew from her cells. It was as though they were telling her what she is, what she used to be, and why she'd flown around in this place for so long. There she saw it. Fairy Britain's destroyer, the one who brought it to its conclusion. Britain's white dragon. Possessed of the same name as her, it was finality given form, swallowing up the entire world, those she loved had called home. She spread her broken wings and summoned her voice through her crushed throat. Her scales peeled away as she flies. Her flesh began to slaughter off, unable to handle the strain of reactivation. She knew this and flew on anyway. That's right. I have to fly. I have to fly. Even if I never did anything honorable as a fairy. Even if I never did anything noble as a knight. Even if I'm a freak of nature who was just imitating people all along. She wasn't a British fairy. As a higher form of life, she was a perpetual outsider, neither fairy nor human. As the dragon who presides over the border, she was considered part of proper human history even within a Lostbelt. As a life form from the outside, there had never been a place for her in this Britain. I never know the ground or peace. I never have what I truly want. All I have is the sight here before me. The border that separates the earth from the heavens and the stars from space. And yet, there was still something she had gained. Something that, whether force or abandon, she had found for herself. She could remember nothing now, but the fact alone that her memory circuits were blank proved that those memories once existed. This body's name, the name it was given here. The wind resistance whittled her body down. Every increase in speed chipped away at her dragon form a little more. If she kept going, she would soon self-destruct. The few moments remaining to her had nearly passed. No weapon would behave like this. No living thing would do something so paradoxical. The dragon understood it was acting irresponsibly, and yet it persisted. Object, stop, and anyone aiding Britain's destruction. Reason unknown. The fire that shone in her eyes drove her to fly even faster. My name is Melusine. Tamlin Melusine. Now fly. Even if you are just an animated corpse, you still must fly. She tore through the air, soaring over the destruction below and flying straight for her enemy. And so the crumbling dragon, one of their beings who found salvation in Britain. Let out her final roar. Aurora? Sie lebt noch? That sound. A vaguely irritating sound jolted her to her senses. Several hours after the Tamlin ran her through, she slowly opened her eyes, still sprawled on her back. It's so quiet. The rats must have died down. Of course they have. They were at it for so long, they must have finally exhausted themselves. You see, I told you all we had to do was wait. Someone always takes care of the problem if I'm patient enough. It's always been that way for me. Why should this be any different? She coughed a few times, her throat oddly parched. Then she smiled a gentle smile and began an elegant speech, just as she had many times before. But there was no one to hear it. Everyone in the city was dead. All she received in response was visions of her past. You know what you're one and only love is, shining brighter than anyone else. You would never think to improve yourself. The very notion of growth and effort is alien to you. And why shouldn't they be? You've been perfect from the moment you came into existence. You don't have to work like the Earth Clan. You don't have to suffer injury like the Fang Clan. You don't have to study like the Wind Clan. You don't have to serve like the Mirror Clan. No, the Wind Clan's values lie solely in existing in the first place. And you, Aurora, are the very avatar of that value. You don't love anyone, but you also don't want anyone. All you need is ornaments to further adorn yourself. What a wonderful way to live. I think it's fabulous. In fact, I really love it. Is das Oberon? But you diminish whenever someone grows more popular than you. Of course, you would never get your hands dirty. You have all the people who adore you for that. Just like you did at Londinium and with Ainsel. Huh? Whatever you're talking about, Oberon. They both deserved what happened to them. I was sad when I learned that they were dead, but I suppose they must have done something to earn someone's ire. Ah, I see. How wonderful. I must have just imagined that you sent them to the Western Human Ranch, knowing Gawain had a visit planned just when they'd arrive. I must have dreamed that you assigned one of your most capable Fae horses to monitor them and report to you. Not true. I did know Gawain would be going there that day. But was it wrong to have him at the Child of Prophecy? Not at all. You helped me move up my plans and cleared away a few actors in a stroke. Anyway, I better get going. Have fun scheming with Spriggan. Ah, leaving so soon? Well, that's a shame. I thought you were going to tell me more fun stories today. You don't need me for that. You're already aware of almost everything that happens in Britain, right? Really, nobody can compare to the Wind Clan when it comes to espionage. Your wind tidings can manipulate information so easily, it generally feels terrifying. Oh, but I will say this. Would you mind leaving Artoria and Maxie alone? I'm going to need both of them in order to defeat Morgan. Oh my, you're never so serious. It's almost enough to make me jealous of them. Oberon, you told me your only goal was to remove Morgan from the throne, but can I really trust you? You're not just some nasty vermin that snuck into my Britain, are you? Of course not. Everything I do is for Britain's future. That's why I've been telling you all this. I truly believe you're the one best suited to rule it. That said, you probably shouldn't trust me too much. No, everything I say is a lie after all. Huh? What do you mean by that? If everything you say is a lie, that would mean you're also lying when you say not to trust you. That's just the kind of heroic spirit I am. I'm not hiding the truth or spreading falsehoods. It's just that everything Oberon the Fairy King says becomes something that was never worth believing. It doesn't matter if I speak the truth or not. Once I say it, it becomes a lie. You and I are opposites in that regard, Aurora. Everything you say becomes true. No matter what dark feelings you harbor or how falsely you pretend to yourself. The moment you say something, everyone, fairies, humans, even you yourself, takes it as the gospel truth. You're so silly, Oberon. I never know what it is you're talking about. Are you calling me a liar? As in, it takes a liar to know a liar? Not at all. You're not even aware you're lying, right? You're both an aggressor and an innocent bystander. That's how you survived this long. The very idea that you're Britain's most beautiful fairy is ridiculous. No, what you are is Britain's most innocent usurper. Ich finde es echt schlimm, dass sie jetzt hier noch so, dass Aurora echt hier noch so ein Charakter, also nicht Redemption bekommt, sondern so einen Abschluss, Mann. Es ist echt so krass, wenn man sich das überlegt. Und dass sie halt auch am toten Londinium ist, und ey, es ist so ein Miststück, Mann. Kann die nicht irgendjemand anzünden? Keine Ahnung. Oh, he really was adorable. I should have caught and killed him when I had the chance. To be the most beautiful fairy in Britain. To be the fairy who shone brightest of all. That was her only purpose. She spent every minute of her 3,000 years being exactly that. For her, lying and cheating weren't crimes, they were just the cost of being her. She had no concept of evil or of good, she only ever thought of ways to keep shining. That's sad. There was one time. Just one time she did something that wasn't solely for her own benefit. Melusine, oder? It was in the Lake District during the era of the High Queen 600, when she went to inspect the Miraclan's town along with her ladies in waiting. There she found a strange creature in dark bog. It was a writhing mass of flesh, a thing even fouler than its spirit surroundings. Oh my! It was all a calculated act, a way for her to show off her servants. Just imagine it, Britain's most beautiful fairy helping Britain's most grotesque creature. A ploy to spread the word about what a wonderful selfless fairy she must to be such to do a thing. My name is Aurora, what's yours? What she hadn't expected was for the mass of flesh she cradled in her arms to begin weeping like a person. She had never before seen tears so sad, so utterly genuine. Never before had she been so moved by her own actions rather than the envy she so enjoyed them creating. Honestly, I never wanted to touch that thing. I want to be like you. That was what a mass of flesh said before transforming into a beautiful fairy. Though Aurora's youth was eternal, she still suffered from decline. Her wings had continued to lose their luster ever since the era of the High Queen began, and her natural shine would grow dim without a steady supply of new and unusual delights. And yet, that girl. She was stronger than anything, more beautiful than anyone. She never declined, even in the smallest way. She didn't need to be innocent, so she would never realize what a monster she was. You see, there she is right now. A dragon fairy soaring nobly through the sky. How irritating, how contemptible, how revolting. Aurora struck on the ground, covered in dirt and grim, while the dragon fairy shone more beautifully than anyone. Foolish girl, if you kill me. The dragon fairy would return to being no more than a mass of flesh. Aurora would never come to love the dragon. She was so certain she would never return its affection. She wanted nothing more than for the dragon to suffer, continuously despondent at never hearing that simple statement of genial affection she so craved. It was that longing, that despair, that made the dragon the fairy she was. That's why it benefited the dragons to continue protecting Aurora in the source of her suffering. But it hadn't been her own benefit that the dragon killed Aurora, it had been for Aurora's. Yes, that's right. I'm not afraid to die. What I fear is losing my radiance, having my colors fade and no longer being special. That's why. Even though the dragon knew that doing so would turn her back into the hideous mass of flesh she used to be, she still chose to kill her. Aurora, the miracle that saved her, and the one she loved more than anything else in the world. What an utterly loathsome creature. Fine, I'm glad to be finally free of it. You see, Oberon, idiocy like that is the stuff of true innocence. She had only cradled that mass of flesh to show off what a good person she was. It reflected her inner ugliness as clearly as the lake. Go away, go away! But the creature born from that hideous mass was truly beautiful. Aurora realized she had done something good for the first time in her life and smiled. Higher, higher, as high as you possibly can. And so, gazing upwards with childlike innocence as the dragon corpse scattered like dust in the wind, Aurora faded away and the radiance finally faded. Und vermutlich die letzte Fee Britanniens starb. there's our exit. Yes, I see it too. But why in the world did Alvin do that? We can worry about it later. Da Vinci, what's our distance to the target? We are 800 kilometers away from the rift. It's farther than it looks, but we can totally make it, Captain. Everyone, hold on to whatever you can. Minimum maximum power. Forget all the safeties and just get us out of here. Aye, aye, Captain. First be dead. I'll punch it all the way to the sun if I have to. Oberon was falling. He kept falling down the bottomless void along an endless shaft. He had no strength left to fly. No, actually. The wings on my back are just for show. I could never fly, stupid. He smiled a hateful smile. He was truly enjoying himself. He may have been defeated, but he'd still accomplished his goal. His only regret was that he hadn't been able to take Chaldea down with him. Gone. Get out of here. It'll be a relief not to have you see your dumb face anymore. Further. The foreign mage, the other child of prophecy, the companions he had spent his long journey with flew further into the distant sky. Then, after Oberon the liar had hatefully sent them off. Oh well, who cares? What matters is that I killed Britain, just like I wanted. Although, I'm sorry, Titania, my fictional queen, who loved me in all my twisted ways. I'm sorry I couldn't get rid of those proper human history bastards for you. Titania, one who was created for a single purpose, then discarded the moment it had been served. The sacrificial love of his life, who could only exist within a story. Maybe he'd already met someone similar to her. But even if he had, Oberon the liar would never be able to believe it. You know, that's weird. Even though I got the ever-living shit kicked out of me, I still feel strangely at peace. The hole in the abyss disappeared as he continued his endless fall. There. So that's human history, Sky, huh? Damn it, it's so beautiful, it makes me sick. Zum ersten Mal, wir haben es schon gesehen, sind die Wolken von Britannien weg und die Sonne strahlt wirklich. The infinite hollow sealed itself as the abyssal worm fell on, a destination forever beyond his reach. Liebe Leute, also ich fand es nicht gut, dass er Rory hier in Center hatte. Das fand ich echt unpassend, weil wie gesagt, ja, hat so viel Böses getan. Und auch wenn es für sie nicht böse war, es war böse. Kara. Und nun, Leute, Zeit, den 6. Lostbelt zu verlassen. Epilog. The Curtain falls. Der Vorhang wird zugezogen und das große Stück der Lügen ist vorbei. Approaching the mirror world plane into standard space in 40, 30, 20. Shut off treated engine 2 through 4. Get us back to normal speed. Here it comes. Everyone, brace for impact. We're about to reach the British Lostbelt. No, regular British airspace. Der 6. Lostbelt, die Singularität oder was es auch immer wurde, der Lostbelt ist ein für alle Mal beseitigt. Senpai, look out the window. Come on, Mesh, let's go. Attention all staff, the Stormwater has successfully returned to British airspace. We are standing down from high alert. Please, return all weaponry to the armory and resume your standard duties. First, I'm told Commander Goredofl would like to say a few words. The floor is yours, Commander.
Right then. First off, I want to congratulate you all on your completing the extremely long mission. The field team did exemplary work in investigating this mysterious land, and enlisted help from the local populace and preventing the world's collapse. And for 50 days, our staff remained vigilantly on standby in almost total darkness, all while keeping the border shipshape. Thanks to all your efforts, Sheba is now back to normal parameters. This of course means the collapse that was predicted to spread from Britain to the rest of the world has been completely averted. So, I'm proud to announce that at this moment, our operation in the British Lostbelt is concluded. Congratulations. Hip hip, hooray!
Is that the best you've got, Chubby? You really ought to brush on your vocabulary.
I was just saying that I failed. If you think you can do better, you can try giving the next speech. Do you know how hard it is to be cool, collected, and eloquent with a spotlight on you? That's just pretty damn!
Good grief, Da Vinci. Could you give me the mic again? Next, I have some more mundane news. We are currently flying at low speed, so we can run diagnostics on all our systems. I've put up an air next around the deck, so for the next 20 minutes, those who wish to get out here may do so. Take a look. It might not be easy, but it's still important. Go make one last memory of Britain before we leave it behind. It feels like forever since I last saw the sky this color. Genau, weil wir wissen ja, im letzten Lostbelt, das ist das, was ich gerade gesagt habe, war immer die Morgendämmerung oder Abenddämmerung oder Nacht, aber nie richtig Sonnenschein. Although, this Britain, fairy Britain is gone now. That's what happens when the singularity is repaired. But it still existed, just like the other Lostbelts. Right. I learned so many valuable things on this journey. I treasure those memories forever. Hey, Maxie! Mash! Da Vinci, did you come to take a last look on Britain too? Sure did. After all the time I spent traveling around it, I figured I should say a final goodbye. Plus, I wanted to toast Mike with this wine I got from Baker. So long, Mike. I bet you're doing great things with your pup right now. In fact, I know you are, even if you are from a different world that's been restored and pruned away. Even if it's no longer possible to observe it now that its universe has deemed it unnecessary. The planet still remembers everything that once existed on it. One of these days, I'm gonna cross the border so I can pay you a visit and see how far you've come. That's a great idea, Da Vinci. Alright, that's not the only reason I came here. You guys gotta come with me to my workshop now. This production graph just started glowing out of nowhere, and I also heard what sounds like mewing. Help me check the summoner, will you? There's no telling what might pop out from it. I see. Leave it to me. I can handle whatever it throws at us. After all the power-ups I got in Fairy Britain, I'm basically super cool right now. Yeah, about that much. Super cool right? Yes, what is it, Master? I'm afraid your production output's back to normal. That's okay, I knew that. I'll just save my disappointment for later. Anyway, never mind that now. I still have to go to Da Vinci's workshop. I'm not sure why, but I'm really excited about this. I think we are about to meet someone wonderful. You're sure about that? Okay, I guess I can trust Super Cool Light's intuition. Okay, Britain, this is it. Thank you for introducing us to so many great people. Now come on, Maxie. We still got a long way to go. It's time we stopped reminiscing and went back to our own home. Yeah. Goodbye, Britain. You know, this is kind of exciting. I wonder what sort of heroic spirit we are about to meet. Zurück in der wirklichen Welt. Disregard's second catastrophe information halted. Transition to catastrophe automation. Great work on discovering and repairing this unexpected dead end. I really have to hand it to you, Chaldean. It only took them 23 hours and 58 minutes to prevent the collapse. But there's no time to celebrate. I need to get ready for the next dead endpoint. Let me see, it looks like the other potentially nasty incidents ahead are the mature beast that flew off from Britain, and what could end up being the single largest singularity to date. As for Kadoc's recovery, it does not seem that there's any way to remove his serious light, so we'll just have to give up on that. So the hieroglyph prediction is not a problem. Revolt, eyelid. I do not get it. In Arabic, please. Oh well, I'll just ignore it for now. More importantly, I think it's time to focus on the big girl herself. I wonder what she is going to do next. Huh? So that is what your future has in store. I cannot say it's unexpected, but it does not leave us much time. I'd better hurry to make preparations. Chaldea has conquered 6 Lostbelts, and the foreign god has truly finished her studies by this point. So, now we each only have a single target left. This will not be our last victory without any casualties. There's simply no way we can all make it out unscattered from the what comes next. Ist der Alter, schau nicht so smacks hier, das ist nicht lustig. Was heißt der unscattered, Mann? Hast du gesehen, wer sich hier alles für uns geopfert hat, Mann? Sehr unpassend. Fade out remained Avalon le Fae the moment I planted the ball. Cosmos. The Nile. Diese Welt haben wir verhindert. Und nun ist es an der Zeit für den Abschluss. Das in der Form. Haut raus. Level Cap increased. Mascara Light. Können wir nur auf Level 90 ziehen. Das ist sehr gut. Doch das war natürlich noch nicht alles. Bond Level released. Wir können sie nur auf Bond 8 machen. Das sollte nicht allzu lange dauern. Und natürlich war es das immer noch nicht, denn wir halten eine Belohnung hier. So viel magische Energie, wie wir abgegriffen haben, ist ein Gral eigentlich fast schon zu wenig. The classical Fairs and the Faired attribute have been added for Torah Caster. The name of a Torah Caster unique skill Sword of Selection has been changed to Sacred Sword Creation. The name of a Torah Caster and Morgan's unique skill Protection of the Lake has been changed to Avalon le Fae. The name of Oberon's class has been changed to Anti-Humanity D. The Servant Prefer for Torah. Okay, gut. Und nun haben wir noch 2 Belohnungen. Sancroft Release Quest, Oberon Spirit Core, das müssen wir natürlich auch noch machen. Aber nun haben wir noch 2 Belohnungen davor. Erstmal hier das. You get harvested. You can get a second and more copies from throughout the friend point gacha. Und der Noble Phantasm besteht natürlich jetzt aus der Black Barrel. Weil, why not, liebe Leute, so kürzt sich's. Und natürlich hier noch eine kleine Belohnung. Gloucester in 2020. Dort sehen wir Gareth, Gastoria, Map. Hier hinten sehen wir Sif und Bardist. Und wenn wir hier noch hinschauen, Melusine und Percival. If only she had never seen the future. If only she had never inherited the High Queen's duty. If only Paradise had given her a different mission. And if only the fairy Britain she imagined in her dreams had continued. Surely many fairies would have come to visit the dazzling fortress. It would have been filled with blinding sunlight and the love of good friends. There would have been so many lives crossing paths on the street. She wouldn't be wearing anything fancy, but she would have worn a familiar star-shaped hairpin. This is what her spring memories might have been like, even if the future never come to pass. Surely there would have been days like this. Diese Frühlingserinnerungen wurden ihr aber nicht gewährt. Leute, wir haben es geschafft. Der 6. Lostbelt ist geschafft. Und ihr seht hier übrigens ein kleines Fragment hier in der Mitte. Da kommen wir aber dann wann anders dazu. Also, ich kann natürlich jetzt nicht 80 Jahre über den 6. Lostbelt reden, ansonsten, wie gesagt, sind wir jetzt hier 100 Jahre beschäftigt. Aber ein bisschen was kann man natürlich sagen. Der 6. Lostbelt war absolut fantastisch. Es war ein wirklich spektakuläres Abenteuer, was wirklich mit einem mittelmäßigen ersten Akt begonnen hat, über einen sehr ausführlichen, langen zweiten Akt und einen so fabulosen dritten Akt, den ich jetzt hier in knapp 2 Wochen durchgespielt habe, was für meine Verhältnisse sehr, sehr schnell ist. Und es war wirklich also besonders das Ende, absolut der Burner. Also es war wirklich so großartig und ich würde es immer noch nicht als meine Lieblings-Singularität bezeichnen. Wie gesagt, Olympus hat mich emotional viel mehr getroffen, auch wenn jetzt am Ende hier das mit Castoria hier ihre letzten Momente schon sehr, sehr, sehr emotional waren. Und Babylone steht halt immer noch auf der 1, aber ich denke, auf einen würdigen 3. Platz kommt diese Singularity, ihr wisst, was ich meine, Kampagne. Es war ein großartiges Kampagne. Mir sind hier sehr viele Charaktere deutlich mehr ans Herz gewachsen, als ich es eigentlich erwartet hatte. Muramasa ist ein sehr gutes Beispiel. Basis, also jetzt nicht nur, ich verzeihe nicht, mein Gott, das werde ich hier nie verzeihen, aber es war definitiv, bringt es mir hier noch mehr auf sie zu rollen, was natürlich ein schlechtes Beispiel. Morgen auch, war die jetzt nicht so stark als Antagonistin, muss ich jetzt sagen. Wie gesagt, das war mehr oder weniger der Background-Story, aber als morgen hat sie sehr wenig meines Erachtens gemacht. Aber dort war ganz sympathisch. Ich muss sagen, das mit Melusine am Ende fand ich jetzt nicht ganz so cool, weil ich meine, die war besiegt und dann taucht sie einfach wieder auf und haut ein Loch rein. Hätte es besser sein können. Aber liebe Leute, alles fällt und stinkt einfach mit Castoria. Und Castoria ist definitiv, ich denke, die beste, charakterisierteste Person, die wir bis dato in Vagrant Order bekommen haben. Und das vielleicht mit Mesh, vielleicht sogar noch vor Mesh. Also das alleine ist schon ein Statement. Wir hatten am Ende wirklich spektakulär inszenierte Kämpfe, die ja wirklich absolut bombastisch waren. Und ich glaube, man muss nicht hier zu viel sagen, dass es zu Recht als eine, wenn nicht sogar die beste Singularität gilt, die es in Vagrant Order gibt. Nun gut, liebe Leute, hier kommen schon die ganzen Melo-Dinger. Melo fehlt mir, das einzige ist ja noch von den Roundtable Net und die werden wir natürlich noch holen. Sie hat es auf jeden Fall verdient. Ich habe es lange rausgezögert, hier das zu spielen, weil ich es mir auch wirklich einteilen wollte und es war schade, dass ich es am Ende bisher jetzt durchrushen musste. Also was heißt durchrushen? Mir hat es auch mega Spaß gemacht. Ich habe heute, ich glaube, 6 oder 7 Stunden hier das aufgenommen. Aber es war wirklich großartig. Und es tut mir echt leid, dass wir hier aufhören müssen. Denn wie gesagt, was diese Kampagne wirklich geschafft hat, ist Worldbuilding auf einem Level zu machen, wie wir es noch nie gesehen haben. Und deswegen fällt es natürlich umso schwerer, diese Kampagne zu verlassen, an die wir uns hoffentlich noch alle erinnern werden. Sei es nun Habertot, Grimmer, Ridderbit. Ach, selbst hier Nocno Reverb, die Fairy Knights, Tamlin, Bardist. Ja, Baumann vielleicht jetzt nicht so, die war kacke. Lancelot natürlich. Oberon, sehr guter Antagonist, fantastischer Antagonist. Muramasa, wie gesagt, Grimmer. Merlins Auftritt, absolut Bombe. Hat mich sehr überrascht, fand ich absolut großartig. Yang, die jetzt storymäßig nichts gemacht hat, aber großartig war. Ja, und ich glaube, es ist nun Zeit, diese Kampagne abzuschließen. Nun gut, liebe Leute, es war natürlich noch nicht alles. Unser Kampf wird weitergehen und ihr habt es schon gehört. Trismegistus, das war zwei als auch Sion haben es vorbeigezeigt. Eine gewisse Fuchsdame hat alles, was sie braucht nun, um eine Singularität in einer Größe zu erschaffen, die uns was wir noch nie gesehen haben. Ich weiß nicht, wann dieses Video kommt, weil, wie gesagt, ich muss jetzt erst 100 Jahre noch rendern, aber auf jeden Fall geht unser Kampf weiter, denn Tunguska erwartet uns und danach natürlich noch ein weiterer Lostbelt. Gut, Leute, dann würde ich sagen, verabschiede mich jetzt erstmal. Ich war Simon Simafix und ich bedanke mich vielmals fürs Zuschauen. Auf Wiedersehen und vielen Dank. Ciao.